Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about the current technology that we're all familiar with and how this technology is going to be evolving into the future, and specifically how it's going to help us work within the built environment and architecture. Starting out with software, the smartphone, which we're all familiar with, has introduced a whole new culture of application development. Even developers that aren't familiar with coding are fantasizing about new apps. It's becoming integrated into our daily lives. As such, software is becoming increasingly sophisticated and more specific. Apps are being designed to accomplish specific tasks that help smaller, more targeted audiences. Software development tools are becoming more accessible. You don't have to be a programmer or a hacker to develop these tools anymore. And the software is becoming more smart. It's starting to learn about us and our behavior. It's starting to anticipate our next moves. Moving on to hardware. Google Glass, which I noticed somebody here was actually wearing tonight, is a really interesting evolution of mobile hardware. It's taking the smartphone and turning it into a device that you wear and integrate more fluidly into the body and the daily experience of life. Technologies such as GPS, accelerometers, air, moisture detectors are making our gadgets more familiar with the environment that we surround ourselves in. People are even starting to implant this technology into their body to become even more integrated. So where do we go from here? I believe the next step is going to be integrating this hardware and software into our WETWARE, which is our own body's brain and central nervous system, which is basically analogous to the technology that we carry with us every day. Data will be layered directly into our own biological senses, rather than looking through a Google Glass to find out how to get to your next location. It'll just be embedded into your vision. Audio, visual, even sensory will become part of the human experience. And it will create a very omniscient sense of our environment. So we're going to eventually become hyper-aware of our environment, of buildings we're in, of people around us. For example, using this new integrated hardware, software, WETWARE integration, architects, for example, can see into their buildings. They can see structural flaws in their buildings through a visual layer. Physical spaces will be enhanced with virtual spaces, creating a more efficient hybridized form of architecture. And that leads me to elsewhere. The point that I'm trying to make with this new technology is that physical location is not going to be very relevant anymore with this technology. An architect in Los Angeles, for example, could experience a building under construction in London through the eye of an engineer. Project teams can work seamlessly with each other through an enhanced interpretation of Skype that brings people together in an almost natural physical sense. And so one positive outlook for the future is LA traffic may eventually become optional. And that's it.